You guys asked for a lot more inflatables on the channel, and you saw the tower of boxes, which is now becoming 3 inflatables. 3, that's right. 3 inflatables that we're gonna unbox in this video. 1 on the micro skiff side that is extremely affordable budget option, and then 2 from Sea Eagle, which are bringing you some premium quality at a fairly good price point. Definitely not budget, but in that value area, and a brand that we haven't really messed around with. So I think we gotta inflate some boats. We got a lot of work to do, Paul.
I'm gonna get on the pumps, and then we're gonna get the wrenches out, get some tunes rolling.
It's a pump
sesh. Blow these things up. I am Sylvester. This is Stallone. If you haven't been here before, you're welcome. This is what we do on the channel. You guys say, I want to hear about this stuff. We go, let's go get some of that stuff. We get it here into the garage, into the shop. We make it happen. We test it out. We give you our fully unbiased opinion on it as soon as we possibly can, and then we go catch fish and have fun, which is what I'm hoping to do with some of this stuff.
Sweet. Yo, Adrian, get the pump.
It's me.
It's you.
I'll get the pumps.
Adrian, get the pump.
I got it.
Would you look at all that air inside of plastic? We've got all of these inflated now, so we're gonna be looking at this $599 Saturn boat. We've got a Sea Eagle. This is the new Fish Tuff 14, and then we've got the 385 FastTrack Angler if you wanted more of a kayak approach. So from budget to not so budget, I think we got some options for you guys in today's video. Let's get into them.
So let's set the specs on each one of these, and then we'll give you our just out of the box first look. Again, we haven't got these on the water. It's all about here's what I'm seeing based on my experience. Then we go test it out. So let's go through the specs first, and we'll start with the Saturn fsup 430 Pro.
You got it. So what you get with this is a 14-foot mega sup. It's 44 inches wide, overall thickness around 6 inches, capacity of up to 3 people, or max capacity weight 700. So obviously you're not getting like 3 big adults on this bad boy. Suggested capacity, by the way, is actually 500. So if you really want it actually doing what it's supposed to be doing, you're gonna keep it more to like 2 passengers at most, and you're not gonna overload it with stuff. I know on their website, they actually have this video that is wild to me. It's a whole family, like 3 adults and 2 children on this thing with a motor rolling down the coast, and it's like just a little bit of hair above the water. It's kind of nuts. Comes in at a price point of 599 bucks, buckaroonies, which is not too bad for like the weight capacity and everything that it actually brings to the table. So you can see in the back there that we had that transom, so you can add up to a 3 horsepower motor on this. It just straps down with cam straps there. Seems secure. We kind of threw it around on the yard when we were trying to get a good thumbnail in, and it didn't come out. So probably fine with 3 horse, but that's that. And then you got the handles in the back, and you've got the universal mounts back there too. And then you see this heavy duty material with the grommets going all the way up, and that is an opportunity for you to do some lashings or tie downs. So if you want to lock some things down to the deck, you can easily do it all the way up to the front there. And then there's also that track, additional universal mounts too in the front, and then a big handle and a D-ring up front as well. You can see that it's got that heavy duty wrapping all the way around the outside, so that's going to be abrasion resistant. On the bottom side of this, there's actually, on the bottom side, you get all that keel tape as well, pretty much front to back, except for where it ramps up at the front section there. So that's going to hold up if you were to drag it around. And all the way back here, you can also see that you have spot for a skeg, which is included. So you can choose to use that for better tracking if you want. Total weight on this configuration is around 70 pounds when you have like a seat on there and things like that, not including obviously the motor. You got 44 inches of width. So very wide, very stable, should be. We'll see once we get on the water. And plenty of room for stuff and activities, of course. It's basically, it's a giant sup. You see at the front here, there's 2 inflation valves, and that's because this is a 2-chamber system. So you've got the middle system, which would be like if you had a standard sup, you get 1 chamber to those. And then they have the additional outer tube system for some added stability and rigidity. But just important to note, it's a very different system that you get out of this than you would with, you know, something like the Fish Tuff 14 or even the FastTrack Angler, which has, I believe, 3 different valves because there's actually a keel guard too. Just something to note up front. Another thing worth noting, of course, with anything is what's in the box. What do I get? So you actually do get this. This is your transom block mount. Comes with the added 2 cam straps. Now we had 2 leftover cam straps, so we doubled down. But that's what I'd recommend if you go with a full 3 horse, especially if you go like a gas motor, a 2.5 horse gas motor or something like that. I'd probably double down on the cam straps. It also includes a SUP paddle, so you will have that. So you don't have to get a motor right out the gate. Of course, you got options for much cheaper motors out there because you have the transom block. You get one for $100, $200, like a Water Snake or a Newport off of Amazon. Amazon, and you can get away at a pretty low cost. It also does not include this seat. This is an additional purchase that you can make for $69. Not crazy, but I'm looking at this and I'm going, I feel like I could just grab a lawn chair and put it on here, so you might just do that. But these are available, and they do have some angler specific cool things, like this one has the back bag on there with a Velcro and a pull string, and then it's actually got on the side here, it's just folded up from transport, but you got a little pouch there, and then you got a cup holder here as well. So if you want some of those amenities as well as fairly decent comfort, just really low. Yeah, buddy. It's just a very low seat. It's not bad. I feel like I could be comfortable in this, especially if you're just rolling spot to spot. Get up though. The main issue you're gonna have is when you go to stand up. Like that is what you do on the water, obviously. So you gotta have a little hip mobility to get out of that thing, but it'll get you spot to spot, or like I said, maybe you get your own seat, whatever. We got this from Boats to Go, by the way. So if you go to boats2go.com, that's where you're gonna see all of these. Any links we send you guys are gonna be from there. But they do have a couple other seats on there as options for you as well. So you can have an inflatable seat or a couple of the other folding seat varieties. So something worth looking at. Inside of these two containers is not nuclear launch codes, but actually a motor that we also got from their website, because we definitely wanted to test this out. So this is a $459 skeg jet motor. It's gonna look very familiar. It's very familiar to like a Bixby system. It's the same, basically the same exact idea. But with this one, you basically have this little battery box here. And cool thing, it's got a little tray up top. So there's gonna be your kill switch right there. So that plugs in on the side. Fairly short string, so you're gonna want it right behind your seat really while you're moving around. And then you actually get a wrist control. So this one has reverse, drive, and sport mode, which I don't know what that is, but I'm gonna use it immediately. I don't see speed up, down, or anything like that. So obviously this will take some testing on the water, which we will do. But yeah, then you charge it right there. There's your DC input. So yeah, pretty cool little all-in-one thing for 459 bucks. It puts you into a situation where you're coming in a lot lower than many of the other motors on the market. If it works consistently, and if it holds up, I'm here for it. But obviously we got to put it to the test when we hit the water. Last thing I'll say on that, you can see this attachment, right? Like what does that go to? Well, they include a couple different options for your skeg attachment. So you saw on the underside of this boat, there was that slot. So this will attach here, and then it goes right into that slot under the boat. And then you're good to go. So we are definitely going to put this to the test, so stay tuned for a full video on that. So there's the micro skiff. Let's talk about the not micro skiff, the Fish Tuff 14 here from Sea Eagle.
Definitely not small aesthetics on this guy right here. It is 14 foot, 7 inches long, 4 foot 5 inch beam, and then your weight, total weight. Now this doesn't include the brackets and all that, but just your standard package weight is 97 pounds. It's got a 3-person capacity. Tube diameter is 19 inches, so it's 19 inches tall, and it has 4 chambers. There's a bow, port, starboard, and floor. So left, right, front, and then the floor. And in the back, you can see it has a real transom. It's not a bolt-on, it's not a piece of garbage plastic. It is a full-on legit transom with a one-way valve at the bottom, and that thing right there can take up to a 10-horse motor. Now the way they're calling out these seams, this is part of the quality construction, heavy-duty nature of the materials, and the assembly is part of what you're getting with from Sea Eagle. So these aren't just welded, these are welded with quadruple overlapped and then a superior glue finish. So you're using high-end materials. Right back here, you can see how much material is stuck in the weld points, like the most important areas of the kayak. They have this thing absolutely glued to heck. And then if you look at the rubber around the outside, it is extremely reinforced. It's extremely prevalent, right? It's coating the whole outside. And they really want to make sure that you have a durable boat that you can have faith in. Let's take a quick look at the bottom here. Oh yeah. So here's the bottom of your Fish Tuff, and it really is just this double wall all the way through. And again, you can see the 2 tunes. So you have the floor, a little bit separate from the tunes, creates a couple of air pockets. That means that you're going to be having all the weight on the outside, which leaves rigidity into the floor and does lead to a very stable ride. As far as capacity goes, they call out 3 persons, but you can get up to 1,200 pounds. That's the capacity that I want to hear if I'm going to be out on big water, which is what this can do. It's great for rivers and especially for multiple anglers, but seeing the 1,200 pound weight capacity means you don't have to worry about having a big motor in the front and in the back and having a couple people on there. Now we're talking. And then your max weight for the trolling motor setup, you can take up to a 55-pound thrust, 36-inch minimum shaft, and then up to 55 pounds of weight here at the front. So that'll accommodate a 40-pound Tarova no problem, which is kind of the standard these days for that 36-inch shaft. Let's do a quick walkthrough, a more functional walkthrough. So as you can see here, they do have the trolling motor mount. This was very, very simple to install. So you just add this right here on both sides, just need a hand screwdriver. There's a pin that goes underneath and goes all the way to the front of this plate and obviously screws in up top here. And then this screws together. So 2 screws here at the front, and then there's a U-bolt. So then you got a U-bolt right here that attaches to a D-ring that is quadruple welded here to the front of your inflatable. Now this is really cool. It keeps everything really lightweight. This is all aluminum, so it doesn't weigh much at all. And then it's obviously very simple. It does leave room, so if you'd like to have a battery or something under here, you can do that. And they've got the D-ring straps all over for, you know, to accommodate that. And then what's nice is you can still use your standard 4-bolt pattern plate in the front to quickly remove or add your trolling motor like so, with just your standard equipment that already comes with the gosh dang thing. And that I like. Then as we move back, you actually can do 2 seats or this standing deck. The standing deck is part of one of their packages. Really easy to install. You just do these 4 rings and there are 4 pins in and out, super easy. Then this can come off, and then you've got 4 straps, and these can come off as simply as just pressing a lever and then taking these 4 straps out just like that. Super easy. So it comes with these. They've got a rubber grip, and it's definitely got some texture to it to make it ergonomical. And then it's a 4-piecer, and I like that because it packs up inside the bag, which is great, but you get 2 of these. I wanna show you the seat real quick. You don't have to run this thing. If you're gonna run multiple anglers, how does your seat get attached? So this is how easy it is to take this thing off. There's basically 4 straps. Well, there are 4 straps. You just take off all 4 straps, and this thing can be removed. And you too could fall over and break your face. Just kidding. That's how easy it is to take on and off. And then as far as seats go, and once you got that thing off, you can take your boat seat with swivel, and you can see it's got this H bracket right there. You just set it down directly on top of this area where it's got, you know, sort of marked out with the straps for your seat. You line it up so the flat plate is in between the 2. Grab your strap, go through both D-rings one way, pull it a little bit tight, not all the way tight, and then you pull through the back one, and that is it. You do that 4 times, and you got yourself a boat seat. And I will tell you, maximum comfort if you're actually on the water, if you're actually gonna be sitting for a whole day. Padded lumbar support on the tunes is pretty good. And then you do get up off the ground a little bit. You can't use the area under the seat, which is kind of a bummer, but I do feel like this is probably the safest height because you're actually inside the gunnels instead of being on top. On top of the gunnels can be comfortable, but again, if you're gonna be in big waves, I want double duty handles and I want my butt in a safe position. So this is safe, this is comfortable, and that's a combo. We do have some Scotty accessories right here, and you can actually mount these and then you can just swap them out. So if I wanted that to be a rod holder, you could make it a rod holder, be whatever you need it to be. Cup holder, what have you, and those are all over the kayak. So we got a couple right here, a couple at the front for probably doing a little trolling, and then a couple back here for some trolling as well, and then way at the back for whatever you're gonna really need back there. And then your back area right here, you're gonna be reserved for your tiller steer. So whether you decide to do the steering pole front to back, 3 horsepower, 6 horsepower equivalent, or up to a 10 horsepower, you got a lot of options with this thing. And I know it's absolutely gonna fly. We're talking like 20s in terms of miles per hour when it comes to that 9.9. So by the time you load this thing down, it's gonna be hustling, regardless of how many anglers you have, that's gonna be hustling. So yes, it is the most expensive of the bunch. It does have the highest level of quality, has the highest number of materials. Having the trolling motor on the front with 2 anglers and a big motor at the back pretty much opens up any water that you could want to fish, especially if you're a freshwater angler. And then obviously, because it has 0 draft virtually, because it's an inflatable, it's great for the river. Because if you can see the water and you can see there's no obstruction, you're good to go. You don't need to worry about anything less than 2 inches below you. Okay, so the standard package with nothing in it, $2,399. Now, if you want to get the swivel seat package, that's 2 swivel seats, and then it comes with obviously your bag and your pump, and then your patch kit is $2,599. So then this package is the fish and troll package. So that comes with the trolling motor bow plate, that comes with the front deck and a single seat. This one is $3,099. And then you can get one with a brand new Honda 9.9 and 2 seats. And this is gonna be $5,499, which is kind of insane. Then you get the ultimate package. This is going to come with your e-propulsion Spirit 2 electric motor. That includes the battery, and then it has the front deck, the trolling motor plate, and the seat, and that is going to be $6,999. Definitely not a free inflatable. However, when it comes to the amount of material, the amount of boat, and then getting that with your battery included, a really top of the end electric motor, which we just got to use. It was really, really quiet and it worked really well with these setups. Plus the ability to put a trolling motor on the front, it's actually pretty heckin' good, even compared to some regular priced full kayaks. And then the test for this one will be at the highest standard. So we're actually gonna take this one out this weekend. We're gonna have the trolling motor on the front. We're gonna have the 2-seat configuration you see here. And then we're gonna take the NT600, a 6 horsepower equivalent electric motor with a 48-volt battery. We're gonna pop that on the back. We're gonna rip around and find out, maybe even do some trolling, have a little fun on big water and see how it handles a little chop. So that's the Fish Tuff. Now let's look at the smallest of the inflatables. This is the FastTrack Angler, also from Sea Eagle. So we'll run through the specs, we'll do a quick walkthrough, and then we'll wrap around up.
So this is the 385 FastTrack Angler. We basically saw it and we're like, hey, this reminds me of the Wilderness Systems iAttack, which is a fun little inflatable kayak. Let's pick it up, let's test it out. I think this is something that people might be looking for. Now it is 12'6". The beam on this thing, AKA the width, is 35 inches across. Total weight on this, once you got it set up, not including the seat, most likely is 45 pounds. So it is pretty dang light, very easy to carry around. We were lifting it over our head, just goofing off, taking some pictures, doing some thumbnails. Very easy to lift. This is super reinforced. So they've got 1,000 denier PVC with 2,000 denier PVC reinforcement sections. So that's that overlap, kind of like we were talking about with the Fish Tuff, but the Fish Tuff actually has some 3,000 sections too, so it's like triple overlapped. But this thing is super heavy duty, built to last, and they're using that same quadruple overlap superior glued finish. That's how they're welding it. You even get like this plasticky end cap on the bow and stern section, so that's super reinforced too. If we look at the bottom, like we have been on everything else, you can see very heavy duty material across the bottom there. You can also see that this is one of the inflatable chambers, so that gives you a V-shaped design to really cut through the water much more. So you inflate that one separately, and then you have
this is a hard plastic up here.
Yep, and then you've got the same plastic cap that you have on the far stern and bow sections there, also on the cones there. There's your drainage, so these actually unscrew on the inside if you need to get out, let some water out, which you will throughout the day, that's how it works. And then you've got a skeg here. It's just got a little spacer in it at the moment, but you pull that sucker out and you can add your skeg. Or not.
Or a motor.
Yeah, or the skeg motor that we just got. So you got that too. Then you got your foot braces up here, which are adjustable on the fly. Kind of cool, seem pretty sturdy as long as your feet are on there. They do kind of move when your feet are not. But again, that's something we'll test out in the future. And then you've got a couple of different seat options. So it actually includes these. This is a padded butt section there. Pretty heavy. Very dense. Yeah. This just straps up to the sides. You actually get a cool little pack that goes on the back there that comes off. It buckles right off. But yeah, this would sit on the floor inside the kayak. So if you want to sit a little bit lower, and then you've got an option for 2 people. So to sit like that in there, and then you have the option for actually 2 people in this. It will fit up to 2 if you want to, with a max capacity of 635 pounds. Inflation time on this, negligible. It took us about 3 minutes, and we actually did the electric pump and the hand pump. And the hand pump, it didn't take any time at all. It was very fast. And I tried both of them. They actually gave us a bunch of these different ones. So these would be ones that you can see on the site. This one is nice. It pumps fast, but it's very short. So that's a bit of a pain on your lower back if you're going to pump one of these up now.
But it is compact, which is convenient.
Yep, very nice with that. This one, much taller. This one was much more comfortable to pump with, and it actually went really quickly. It was smooth. So that was good. Or actually have this electric pump as well. What's really cool about this one is it runs on basically a drill battery. So you can charge this. Yeah, very light. I don't even know, did they list the voltage on here? 12 volt, so it's a 12 volt battery there. Charge that up, pops into here, simple on and off switch, and then you just set the PSI that you want to go to, which is on every single valve. So if it says go to 3.5, you go to 3.5. You just put that number in and inflate it. So depending on how hot it is where you are, something you got to keep in mind is if these are sitting in the sun, Now, I'm not talking just on the water, because obviously on the water you can't avoid the sun, but if they're sitting in your yard or something, make sure you take some air out, some pressure out really. So drop it 5, maybe even 10 PSI or more. You can leave it just slightly inflated, maybe 50, 60% inflated, and then you finish it off when you get to the water. That way it doesn't take as long, but also it doesn't explode on you, which would be ideal. So bow to stern on this bad boy, you got a bungee tie down at the front, you've got a universal mounting plate, probably putting some nav lights or something up there, or high vis light. There's one in the back as well. Then you have this heavy duty material that pulls across the front. Now this is not inflated, so you can't puncture it, and there are actually jig hook holders here, so you can just rack your lures up if you want to. You got a spot for scissors, pliers, different tools, and then these little holes right here go to this butt section here. That's a rod holder. So you can put 2 rods in there. You know, definitely something I'll test for how secure I think that is, but it's an option. If you didn't want to bring a crate or anything, that could work. Here's all your valves all in the front. So the bottom V-hole valve is right there. You've got your side tube valve, and then you got the base right there as well. And then you move back, you've got these loops for locking things down. You got some D-rings, you got different accessories. So this would be for that stand-up bar that you actually saw on the Fish Tuff. You can put it right here as well. So if you want some assist to standing, you could have that. Moving on back, you've got a little fish measuring board along the side. Now, the seat we're using, totally in the way of that, but if you weren't using this, you could lay a fish on the side if you wanted to and measure it. We've got that same folding, comfy, cushy seat that you see 2 of over in our Fish Tuff 14. This one sits on this long rail system that goes on top of the side tubes. So with that, you're gonna be sitting up higher. You might not have as good a stability. You're gonna lose a little bit of that, but it gets you a better vantage point for fish, maybe a little more power with your paddle. We'll also be testing like the lower sit inside options. But what's cool on this is you get 2 added options here for Scotty mounts. So you just take 4 screws included with the kit, you screw it in, and now you can have a cup holder on one side if you want to. You got a rod holder on the other side. You can do some trolling with this. And did I mention your seat is a swivel seat? There's no locking setting on that. These actually have the locking setting. So you could potentially mount this kind of seat here instead if you wanted the upgrade. That's an option, but for now, there is no locking. Main thing with this seat, if you use this one, is that you use cam straps on the side. So it is front to back, rock solid. Side to side, we notice like if you tip this, drop it, whatever, it could slide a little bit, but they're in there pretty darn tight. And if you're just regular using it, you're not us, then you're probably not gonna have an issue with that. In the back, we got more D-rings, we got more tie-off points, we got more bungee, we have more tools in the back here. I mean, Paul, could we just put the seats facing opposite directions and just fish that way?
There are no rules.
I think we could do that. And then here's where you got your drainage, 2 more rod holders in the back, and another additional universal mount. So yeah, I mean, it's funny that this says max capacities, 3 people. I don't know if I would do that, but 635 pound is the max weight capacity that you have with it. And this thing is mainly designed to be fast. The Angler edition just added in a bunch of fishing accessories or mountable options for you if that fits your fancy. So the way you see this configured right now is what they call the fishing rig package. So including the swivel seat, the extra accessories, a pump, the bag, a paddle, the foot braces, all of that, you're looking at a total price of $14.99. So it actually puts it right in contention with that iAttack Angler at almost the same price. So definitely interesting. And then they do have another option where you actually get a transom bar that goes across the back here so that you could mount a less expensive trolling motor if you wanted to. So that's pretty cool. And then you would have your tiller like right there at your hand because the motor would be just hanging off the side near the middle. That brings your price point up to $17.49. And one cool thing that I think Sea Eagle does is they actually work with some motor companies to give you motor packages on both of these. So if you wanted to buy like that, Paul was talking about, you can get the e-propulsion kit or the Honda kit. With this one, you can get a Bixby kit. So you've got options there. So one thing I had to call out with actually all 3 of these inflatables is that they come with this carry bag for them. Now, it doesn't have wheels, but it does solve a lot of problems that I often have with inflatables. So the idea here is that you roll those suckers up after they're deflated, you lay it right in the middle, then you have these 2 long sections in the middle that fold over top of that, and you have a pull strap right here. And then you fold over the short sections over the top of that. And then you have 3 straps there to really tighten this thing down. And then it's just basically a big duffel bag. So I think it's cool. Is it perfect? No, definitely not. But it is one of the better ways, at least, to encompass the inflatable, to actually get the thing rolled up. The only big upgrade I would love to see on something like this is to have a rigid back section and some wheels on there that were actually sturdy. I still have yet to find an inflatable container, we'll call it, or bag, that I absolutely love. There's a little something wrong with all of them. And in this case, especially with the Fish Tuff, which is what this one is for, it's just so big and so bulky that you can't hold it with one hand. You need both, and you kind of have to like hold it in front of you, like chest carry it. It's kind of funky. Anyways, it works. It's fine. Could be better for sure. So there you guys go. 3 new inflatables that we now have to go and test out. So
Have to. Oh no.
I'm very upset about it. It's a lot of work ahead of us, I'll tell you that much, because we got to rig them out. We got to register that one especially, and then we got to go hit the water. So yeah, with that said, let's get to work, shall we?
Let's.
Not in this video, in the next one. All right, thanks for watching, you guys. Smash that like, ring that notification bell, and be subscribed to the channel so you can see when all of these different videos drop, which they will be doing soon. Thanks for watching, you guys. We'll catch you on the water.
Take me out.
Bye.